Have you ever sensed a powerful, unseen force nudging us toward a new reality? Welcome to the Age of Aquarius, a time marked by significant change, revolution, and spiritual renewal. Prepare to explore the enigmas of this cosmic period, which has already begun to influence humanity's path. The Age of Aquarius is more than just an astrological phase. It signifies a crucial point in the spiritual and social development of humankind. Our solar system journeys around the galaxy along an imaginary path known as the ecliptic, a perpetual cycle that ancient Egyptian priests called the cosmic year. They divided this 360-degree journey of the solar system across the celestial sphere into 12 30-degree segments. The Sun requires approximately 2,160 years to traverse each of these segments, which correspond to the 12 star constellations and their associated zodiac signs. During this celestial rotation, Earth receives energy from these 12 constellations or zodiac signs. These energies are believed to shape the destiny of individuals in each lifetime and the experiences their souls must encounter. This cosmic movement also influences the duration of the physical structures that underpin human organization. If you find it hard to believe that the energy of the stars can affect human life, it might be because your thinking is still rooted in a purely materialistic view where only the physical world is considered real. However, contemporary science has already demonstrated the wave-particle duality. This means that subatomic particles, like electrons and photons, light particles, can behave as both particles with mass and a specific location, and as waves that spread out and exhibit characteristics like interference and diffraction. It's not a case of being one or the other, but rather both in a complementary way. Everything that exists and is composed of atoms possesses an electromagnetic field, which both emits and receives electromagnetic waves. This is a fundamental scientific truth about our universe. When we observe the stars, we can think of them as sources of energy waves that influence everything around them, including our planet and its inhabitants. Just as waves interact and interfere with each other, the movements of planets emit waves of influence that can affect Earth's energy patterns and, consequently, human behavior. Imagine these influences as a cosmic dance where each celestial body moves, and its wave resonates throughout the universe, subtly yet profoundly impacting our lives. At the conclusion of each 25,920-year cycle, a significant upheaval occurs on Earth, paving the way for a new phase of development and a different potential for societal organization. At the end of each great cosmic year, major shifts happen within the Sun, leading to substantial climatic changes that destroy existing structures on Earth. This is seen as part of a process orchestrated by a higher intelligence, often referred to as God, to enable new developments and expressions on our planet, allowing for different ways of understanding the universe. It's as if humanity, as a collective entity, undergoes a kind of death every 25,920 years to be reborn in a more evolved form, similar to the individual human life cycle but on a grander, collective scale. Currently, the position of our solar system along the ecliptic is precisely in the midst of the transition between the preceding era, the Age of Pisces, and the upcoming one, the well-known Age of Aquarius. Each era carries the distinct energy and lessons associated with an astrological sign, shaping the dominant values and ways of thinking within civilization. During the Age of Pisces, which spanned from 150 BC to 2010 AD, we were influenced by the sign of faith, sacrifice, and structured religions. It was a time when humanity sought to comprehend the divine through established dogmas, doctrines, and the figure of saviors. The symbol of Pisces, represented by two fish swimming in opposite directions, encapsulates this duality. This duality, the tension between the spiritual and the material, is what the passing era illustrates. The Age of Pisces taught us to have faith in something beyond ourselves, to seek the transcendent. However, as we transition into Aquarius, the focus of our learning shifts. It's no longer sufficient to simply believe. Now, it's essential to understand, to question, and to broaden our horizons. Aquarius, governed by Uranus, brings with it qualities of innovation, freedom, and collective progress. While Pisces directed our gaze upward for redemption, Aquarius encourages us to actively build something new, questioning established structures that no longer benefit humanity. This coming era places a high value on interconnectedness and collaboration. Aquarius teaches us that individual growth is intertwined with the progress of the whole. Our true strength lies in the collective. Historically, astrological ages have been linked to significant transformations. For instance, the shift from Taurus to Aries coincided with the emergence of great warrior civilizations, and the transition from Aries to Pisces aligned with the rise of monotheistic religions. Now, as we step into Aquarius, the world is beginning to experience the initial signs of a profound change, the awakening of collective consciousness. It is in the Age of Aquarius that humanity will finally learn to interpret this underlying language, harmonizing science, spirituality, and intuition in an unprecedented way. Beyond external changes, the Age of Aquarius signifies an internal revolution. The concept of spirituality is evolving, moving away from rigid doctrines towards self-knowledge and a direct connection with the divine. Practices like meditation, esoteric study, and the pursuit of purpose are becoming fundamental aspects of this new form of spirituality. Science, in turn, will no longer be viewed as being in opposition to faith, but rather as a complementary force. Discoveries in fields such as quantum physics are already indicating a reality where matter and energy, both visible and invisible, are deeply interconnected. This understanding will be crucial in constructing a new worldview. However, the Age of Aquarius extends beyond the spiritual realm, challenging us to reevaluate our social, economic, and political systems. The sign of Aquarius symbolizes equality and collectivity, suggesting a move toward more horizontal and collaborative models of governance. Traditional leadership based on authority will gradually give way to organizational structures where every voice is valued. Technology will play a vital role in this process, connecting people and ideas on a global scale. The Internet, with its social networks, and advancements in artificial intelligence represent the dawn of an era where information is the most precious resource. Sustainability will be another central theme in the Age of Aquarius. This is a time that calls upon us to care for our planet as an integral part of ourselves. The concept of Gaia, the Earth as a living organism, will gain even greater prominence, inspiring ecological practices and innovative solutions to environmental challenges. The pursuit of clean energy sources, the regeneration of ecosystems, and the reduction of human impact on the environment will be top priorities. This ecological awareness reflects the core essence of Aquarius, the understanding that everything is interconnected. Thus, the Age of Aquarius represents a collective realization that we are co-creators of our reality. This era challenges us to integrate the best aspects of ourselves, our logic, intuition, science, and spirituality into a harmonious whole. We are presented with a unique opportunity to rediscover who we are and to reimagine what we can become as a collective. The Age of Aquarius heralds a singular revolution, unlike any transformation humanity has ever witnessed. It will not be defined by flags, political parties, ideologies, or charismatic leaders. On the contrary, this will be a silent revolution, without battle lines or physical confrontations, where anger will be overcome with compassion, greed with generosity, and ignorance with wisdom. This is a revolution of consciousness, a profound and personal transformation that, collectively, will shape a new paradigm for our planet. While past revolutions aimed for external changes, such as toppling governments or restructuring economic systems, often failing because the overall societal consciousness remained unchanged, the Age of Aquarius centers on the internal, the unseen, and the essential. It is a journey that begins within each individual, where long-held beliefs and ingrained patterns of thought are questioned and ultimately overcome. The quest is not to find external enemies to combat, but to illuminate the internal shadows within ourselves. This is an inner revolution that transforms the world from the inside out. The absence of flags and divisions reflects the Aquarian principle of collectivity and interconnectedness. In this revolution of consciousness, there's no us versus them, only a universal we. Each individual takes responsibility for their own transformation, contributing to a global energy field where empathy, solidarity, and mutual understanding are the true driving forces. This revolution doesn't seek to impose ideas but to inspire through example, demonstrating that true power resides in inner peace and self-knowledge. The Age of Aquarius also challenges the need for labels and fixed identities. In a world where names and symbols often create divisions, this revolution encourages a return to the pure essence of human experience. It is not necessary to belong to a specific group or adopt a particular ideology to participate in this transformation. It is enough to be willing to look into the mirror of the soul and acknowledge both the light and the shadows that reside within each of us. Essentially, the revolution of the Age of Aquarius is a call to authenticity. It's not about fighting against external systems, but about transcending internal limitations. When a sufficient number of people awaken to this reality, the planet will change in an instant. The revolution begins within. By transforming our individual consciousness, we also transform the collective consciousness. Thus, without flags to defend or names to glorify, this will be an unprecedented revolution, an awakening that will lead us to a new way of being and existing in the world. The Age of Aquarius brings with it a powerful wave of changes that will permeate all aspects of human life. Its influences will be felt in the sciences, arts, spirituality, and our social structures. In the realm of technology, we will witness extraordinary advancements. Artificial intelligence, once a distant futuristic concept, is already beginning to integrate into our daily lives in surprising and profound ways. Systems capable of creating, interpreting, and even experiencing emotions will become available, challenging the very definition of what it means to be human. The study of haptics, the science of touch and sensory interactions, will progress to such a degree that we will experience virtual realities indistinguishable from the physical world. However, this technological revolution will not be purely practical. It will also compel us to contemplate our relationship with progress. Are we using these tools to build bridges or to erect walls? Simultaneously, the scientific and spiritual fields will intertwine in ways previously unimaginable. Discoveries such as quantum entanglement, which suggests that particles can influence each other across vast distances, echo ancient spiritual wisdoms that proclaim the interconnectedness of all things. This dialogue between science and spirituality will pave the way for a new understanding of reality, where the material and immaterial coexist harmoniously. Within society, we will observe the strengthening of communities founded on shared values. The Age of Aquarius does not champion excessive individualism, but rather the unification of efforts for the collective good. Social movements will gain momentum, challenging outdated economic and political systems. The concept of democracy may evolve, embracing more participatory forms that include voices that were previously marginalized. Here, progress will not be solely measured by technological advancements, but by the increase in empathy and collaboration among people. Sooner or later, ideas for novel societal models will begin to gain significant traction. These alternative societal models will likely be based on a resource-based economy, the sustainable application of technology, and a focus on human and environmental well-being. Education will be centered on cultivating critical thinking, understanding natural and social systems, and fostering global cooperation, an education that equips individuals to contribute to society as a whole. Initiatives like the Venus Project will gain increasing prominence and discussions among those seeking a better future for everyone. Our planet will also be a central point of focus. Ecological awareness will reach unprecedented levels, driven by a growing understanding that the Earth is a living organism. The regeneration of ecosystems and the adoption of renewable energies will become not merely ethical choices, but fundamental necessities for ensuring our survival. The cities of the future, interconnected by intelligent and sustainable networks, could become havens of harmony between humanity and nature. The Age of Aquarius brings with it a heightened awareness of the consequences of human choices on the planet, other living beings, and even spirituality itself. In this context, the consumption of meat is a practice that will inevitably be debated. This new era invites us to deeply reflect on our eating habits and their wide-ranging consequences, from environmental to ethical and spiritual. Environmentally, meat production is a major contributor to planetary degradation, from deforestation for grazing land to greenhouse gas emissions from livestock. The impact is undeniable. Ethically, meat consumption raises profound questions about our respect for life and the dignity of other beings. With the expansion of empathy and compassion, characteristics of the Age of Aquarius, awareness of animal rights, and the suffering involved in industrial farming and slaughter practices will grow. A common consensus will emerge, recognizing animals not merely as resources but as sentient beings, fostering a more compassionate and conscious relationship with the animal kingdom. In my personal opinion, I believe that many years from now, society will view the current meat industry in much the same way we now view the enslavement of other human beings. In the arts, creativity will flourish as never before, influenced by the spirit of Aquarius. Art will be liberating, challenging established norms and giving rise to new forms of expression. We will witness a fusion of styles and cultural traditions in a movement that celebrates diversity while acknowledging the underlying unity of the human experience. Music, painting, literature, and cinema will become powerful vehicles for transmitting the transformative energies of this period. However, the most profound transformation will occur within each of us. The Age of Aquarius calls us to an inner awakening, to an expansion of consciousness that enables us to see beyond illusions. Practices such as meditation, yoga, and esoteric studies will gain greater popularity as they reflect the search for balance and self-knowledge that this era demands. It will be a time for deep introspection, to question deeply held beliefs, to liberate ourselves from patterns that no longer serve us, and to discover the true purpose of our existence. However, this transition will not be seamless. Every change creates discomfort, and this period will be no different. Resistance will arise at both individual and collective levels. Often, the new must intensely confront the old, inevitably leading to moments of crisis. The world will undergo a catharsis. The Age of Aquarius is, above all, a journey of transformation. It calls us to have the courage to let go of what no longer serves us and to embrace the unknown. It presents an opportunity to rebuild the world and ourselves based on principles of love, freedom, and connection. The future is not simply approaching. It is being shaped by our choices in the present moment. The transition to the Age of Aquarius is not only a time of great promise, but also of profound challenges. Every significant change demands that we confront our deepest fears and address what we have long avoided. In this new cycle, we will be challenged both individually and collectively to detach from the old and embrace the unknown with courage. The first major obstacle is our attachment to obsolete structures, systems of power, beliefs, and ways of life that, despite showing signs of decay, have long been established. The sense of security these structures offer may create a comforting illusion, but it also limits the potential for growth. Here, the challenge lies in overcoming the fear of the new and recognizing that change is not only inevitable. When the Age of Aquarius began on this planet a little over a decade ago, and the light began to shine more intensely, we entered a period in which the veil concealing hidden realities began to dissipate under the influence of Aquarian energies. We are living in a time of intense exposure of the dark structures that have governed humanity for so long. This is an era of unveiling, where deeply kept secrets are surfacing, provoking both indignation and an opportunity for transformation. In the entertainment industry, for example, we are witnessing the exposure of systematic abuses and crimes that once remained hidden. Scandals involving the abuse of power, influence peddling, and even nefarious practices of human exploitation have been widely revealed, drawing public attention to the toxic dynamics that underpin superficial glamour. Moreover, the discussion surrounding unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and potential extraterrestrial contacts is also gaining momentum in this new age, leading up to the moment of direct contact. For decades, governments and institutions denied or minimized such phenomena, relegating them to the realm of fiction or collective imagination. However, in recent years, the release of official documents and reports from credible witnesses has lent credibility to the topic. This unveiling not only challenges our understanding of the universe, but also creates space for questioning the historical narrative that has been presented to us. When the existence of extraterrestrial life becomes fully clear to the human race, other, more profound questions will begin to arise, such as, if aliens exist, how long have we had contact with them? Or, delving even deeper, what influence do they have on our current society? The truth will inevitably come to light. It is unavoidable, and like a house of cards, as soon as the first of the fundamental paradigms upon which our society is structured collapses, the entire structure will fall. This is Kali, the Hindu goddess of destruction, at work. This is what is described in the Bible as the apocalypse, the unveiling. For a new way of living as a society to emerge, current paradigms need to be overcome. However, as external systems and structures crumble, we are invited to look inward and confront our own shadows and delusions. This is where the true revolution arises. This process of enlightenment is not easy, as it demands the courage to face both collective and individual truths. However, it is through this confrontation that humanity can progress toward a future more aligned with values of empathy, justice, and authenticity. In this era of revelations, it is crucial to remember that the light of truth, although sometimes painful, is the initial step toward healing and transformation. The Age of Aquarius teaches us that only by exposing the wounds of the past can we genuinely begin to build a more conscious and compassionate world. Thus, this is a time of great challenge but also of profound hope, where truth finally becomes an ally in the awakening of humanity. Another significant challenge is the rapid pace of transformations. Technologies emerge swiftly, established paradigms are overturned, and information circulates at a dizzying speed. Many feel overwhelmed, struggling to keep pace with this constant influx of new developments. In this context, there is a pressing need to cultivate resilience and the ability to discern what truly matters amidst the abundance of stimuli. Polarization will also be a defining and challenging characteristic of this period. Amidst attempts to break free from the past, conflicts between differing worldviews are likely to intensify. Polarities between progress and tradition, between science and spirituality, and between individualism and collectivism will require us to find paths of integration. True progress will only be achievable when divergences are viewed as opportunities for dialogue and mutual learning, rather than insurmountable divisions. At the personal level, where the true revolution will unfold, the greatest challenge will be confronting one's own inner self. The Age of Aquarius invites each individual into a profound process of self-knowledge. But this is a path fraught with potential pitfalls, fears, doubts, and resurfacing past traumas that demand healing. The ego, accustomed to control and protection, may resist this journey, creating internal conflict. To move forward, one will need to cultivate the practice of self-acceptance and forgiveness, understanding that true growth only occurs when we embrace our shadows. Connection to spirituality will also be challenged by superficial or distorted interpretations. In a world where access to information is virtually unlimited, not everything presented as spiritual truth resonates with genuine wisdom. The challenge here will be to learn to distinguish the essential from the superficial, seeking practices and teachings that truly foster transformation and wisdom. It is a call to develop a practical spirituality, one that is not confined to theories or eloquent phrases but is reflected in our actions and daily choices. Finally, collective transition will necessitate patience and collaboration. While some parts of the world advance toward Aquarian consciousness, others may cling to conservatism and resistance. Impatience for everyone to keep pace may generate frustrations and divisions. The challenge will be to exercise compassion and empathy, recognizing that each individual and each culture has its own timing and path to awakening. As Carl Jung wisely taught, what we do not confront within ourselves will manifest as our destiny. Thus, the Age of Aquarius offers us the opportunity to take control of our future by facing challenges consciously and creatively. Overcoming these obstacles will not be easy, but it is precisely in confronting them that true strength lies. This is the call of the new age, to transform crises into lessons, conflicts into cooperation, and fears into freedom. For, as Hermetism teaches, as above, so below, as within, so without. Every individual transformation contributes to the great collective change, and it is through this union of efforts that the Age of Aquarius will become a tangible reality. Entering the Age of Aquarius is more than a process of adaptation. It is a call for active and conscious transformation. This is a moment that requires preparation not only externally but, most importantly, internally, as the changes this period brings originate within each individual before manifesting in the collective. The initial step in preparing for the new age involves cultivating self-knowledge. Without a clear understanding of who we are, we become susceptible to the shifting winds of external changes, losing our way amidst the transformations. Introspection through practices like meditation, journaling, and contemplation becomes vital. It is in this inner stillness that we begin to uncover our truths, identify our fears, and comprehend our deepest desires. Simultaneously, it is crucial to develop the ability to detach. The new age requires us to release structures, beliefs, and patterns that no longer serve our evolutionary journey. This is not an easy process, as detachment invariably encounters resistance. One of the most challenging aspects is trying to guide someone out of their comfort zone when they are unwilling to move. However, it is in the willingness to let go of the old that we create space for the new to emerge. As Lao Tzu teaches, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Another significant preparation involves strengthening our connection with the collective. The Age of Aquarius is characterized by the valuing of community and cooperation. This entails cultivating empathy, active listening, nonviolent communication, and the ability to collaborate effectively. It is a time to dismantle barriers of separation and recognize our interconnectedness within a web of interdependence. Furthermore, preparing for the new age demands an openness to continuous learning. The accelerated pace of change necessitates a flexible mind, willing to explore new ideas and perspectives. This does not mean accepting everything uncritically, but being willing to question established truths and seek knowledge with curiosity and a critical spirit. Reading, attending courses, listening to diverse voices, and exploring spiritual and scientific traditions are ways to broaden our worldview. The health of the body should also not be neglected in this preparation. The Age of Aquarius values the balance between mind, body, and spirit. Practices such as yoga, Tai Chi, and mindful eating help to create a state of harmony that facilitates the integration of the transformative energies of this period. The body is the vessel where internal and external changes are reflected, and caring for it is an essential part of the process. Another key element is cultivating emotional resilience. The changes brought by the new age will not always be comfortable, and there will be moments of challenge and uncertainty. Developing the ability to face difficulties with courage and adaptability is essential. This includes learning to manage frustrations, accepting what cannot be changed, and maintaining a positive outlook in the face of obstacles. As Viktor Frankl observed, between stimulus and response there is a space, and that space lies our power to choose our response. Finally, preparing for the Age of Aquarius calls for an authentic spiritual connection. It is not about adhering to rigid dogmas or superficial rituals, but about establishing a genuine bond with the sacred. Whether through contemplating nature, practicing prayer, or studying spiritual texts, the important thing is to find a way to nourish the soul and align with the universal energy that permeates all things. Preparing for the new age is, above all, a commitment to evolution. It is accepting that transformation begins within us, and that as we change, we contribute to the change of the world. This is the invitation of the Age of Aquarius, to become conscious agents of a future that, although uncertain, holds the potential for a new awakening for humanity, a call for each of us to become the protagonist of a collective story. It is time to awaken, question, and build a future of light. As we navigate this awakening into the Age of Aquarius, remember that each of us plays a vital role in shaping this new era. If this message of transformation resonated with you and you'd like to see more insights into this unfolding shift, please help our channel grow and spread this understanding by liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications. Don't forget to drop a comment below with your thoughts on the Age of Aquarius or suggest topics you'd like us to explore in our next video as we journey into this new consciousness together. Thank you for watching.